So let's look at an example here. Determine whether the argument form is valid or invalid by drawing a truth table. So the argument is going to be if P, then Q or not R. If Q, then P and R. Therefore, if P, then R. So this is my argument form. Remember, we start by identifying these first two. These are our premises. This last one is the conclusion. So now I need to make a truth table containing all of these. So if I look, I have 3 statement variables. I use P, Q, R, so I need to set up my table with the column for P, Q, R. And then I'm going to have 8 rows, so let's go ahead and fill in our 8 options here. True, false, true, true, false, false. And then repeat these 4, but change P to be false. False, false, true, false, false, false. Okay. So look back here. What things am I going to need in my truth table? Well, I'm going to need not R. So let's start there, not R. I flip all the entries in the R column. False, true. Okay. Then I'm going to need Q or not R. So I'll make that column next. Q or not R. So you're looking at the column for Q, you're looking at the column for not R we just made, putting an or between them. So the statement would be true, true, false, true. And then true, true, false, true. So next, what do I need? I need P and R. So now you're going to look at the column for P, look at the column for R, and put an and between them. So you're going to get true, false, true, false, and then the remaining ones will all be false because P is false. Okay, so I think I've got all my pieces now. I'm ready to start making my columns for my premise, for each of my premises. So we have if P, then Q or not R. So I'm looking at the P column, and I will look at the Q or not R, and it's a conditional statement. So here, true, 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 true would be true, true, and then false would be false. True, true would be true, and then the remaining 4 are true because the first one is false. So that's our first premise. Now let's make our second premise. Q, if Q, then P and R. So now you're going to look at different columns. So we're going to look at if Q, then P and R. They're both true, so true. A true and a false would give you false. And the next two are automatically true because Q is false. True, false would be false. Another true and false. And then here, automatically true. All right, so very final column we have to make is a column for if P then R. So now I'm going to look at the P column. Look at the P column, look at the R column. And then let's see, they're both true. Actually, you don't have to make this whole last column. So let's look here. These last two were my premises. So we want to find our critical rows. So what are the rows where they're both true? Let's go ahead and just circle them. So they're both true here. They're both true here. They're both true in these last two rows. So you only are concerned with your conclusion in those 4 rows, and that's it. So let's see, the 4th row, P is true and R is false, so this would be false. And then P is false in both of these, so it's automatically true. So we've circled our critical rows, and if you look in the second one, I had a critical row where the conclusion is false. So because I had a false there, I can say that this argument form is invalid. Now if those rows, if that second row that I circled, if the conclusion had been true, it would be valid because all the critical rows, the conclusion would be true.